Masking the fear. Hide away from the tension. Take your stand. Pledge your feet. Enough's enough. How about for once you think for yourself?
The next stage that I went about incorporating with my vocal mix was instilling a little bit of compression. And one of my favorite compressors for vocals is the RG401 compressor from Slate Digital. It's beautiful sounding and there's a lot of control, and there are a lot of different ways that I go about using this depending on what vocals I have. So generally I use a 4:1 ratio, a slow attack, and a semi-fast release. I find that with this setting allows for the dynamics to be able to pull through a little bit more within the mix, but allowing for it to also be controlled in a really great way. And following that, I just have a little bit of makeup gain. As you can see, it's very, very subtle, just 1 dB. And one thing to also note with this compressor is it's super, super subtle the way that I use it. Maybe 1 dB of reduction at most.
Masking the fear. Hide away from the tension. Masking the fear. Hide away from the tension.
So the next plugin that I use is actually not necessarily used for dynamic control. It's more so used for the level of character that this particular plugin brings to whatever mix that you're working on. The Pwigtic 670 is just absolutely incredible, and it's based on the Fairchild. And over the course of all the videos that I do on this channel, you'll see me use this a lot. It just sounds so beautiful, and I use it so excessively, and sometimes I feel like I'm overcooking my tracks when I'm using this, but honestly I can't help it. It just sounds that good. And once I show you what this plugin is doing, you'll notice that there is no dynamic control going on, meaning that there's no compression going on. This plugin is being used primarily just to instill a little bit more character into my vocal track, so I'll show you that before and after.
Masking the fear. Hide away from the tension. Masking the fear. Hide away from the tension.
The next stage of processing was actually with the Saturn by FabFilter. I really love this plugin because it really allows you to be able to pick and choose what part of the EQ spectrum you're affecting. I found that there was this really great preset that worked really well with Victor's vocals, and I'll show you exactly where to find that right now. So if you go into your preset bank, you go to all around saturation, and you can find it right here. That's another thing, don't be afraid to go into the banks of presets that all of the plugins that you have. You may find that a lot of these plugins have really great presets that are plug and play, but also note that I incorporated this preset at about 20% mix. I found that when it was at 100%, it was almost overbearing, but blending this in as almost like a parallel saturation, it was really great. So feel free to play with the mix with this if you're gonna use this in your own vocal mixes.
Masking the fear. Hide away from the tension.